It's time for the hottest show in America. It's time for the Al Rucker Show, where you get the 411 from A to Z, special guests, and much, much more. So buckle up for a wild, wild ride. The Al Rucker Show starts now.
Thank you for tuning in to hour 2 of the Al Rucker Show. Nikki Woods, Seven the Poet, Keisha Hunt, and myself, Al Rucker.
Yeah. So smooth with it. So smooth with it.
Sometimes you got to be smooth.
Yeah, well, you know what? I love this hour because we really help people get their lives together. We have
do.
Ask Al. We have Out Front. We call people out with Ass of the Week. I mean, it's just, it's just a lot of fun.
Saving lives. Saving lives.
All right. Saving lives, indeed. We also have a lot of great music coming up, and we are going to talk about some interesting things that have been happening in the world with Hot Topics. Would you talk? Would you please say it? Like, someone sits there and looks at you like with this smirk. Say it.
I don't know if you wanted to. You taking them
Straight
that long
up,
to get
man.
it out.
You don't really be wanting my thoughts out like that, Nikki.
And I don't want them on your face then either, because
FCC.
then
FCC.
all right. Well,
Okay.
you can't share. You can't clean it
Nah,
up.
You can pig Latin it? No.
I can't.
Sign
you
language,
can't.
something.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Nah.
No.
All right.
We're going to let it be.
Yeah, just walk away.
Yeah.
So
Gone
real quick,
now, gone.
did anybody do any Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday shopping?
Nah.
No.
I
Me
did.
neither. I was not in the online shopping spirit this year.
I did some Black Friday shopping.
I messed up and went to Walmart right. Exactly. I don't know what I was thinking. I messed up and went to Walmart like at 9:00 on Thanksgiving night. It was insane.
What was you thinking,
I
dog?
don't know. It was insane. I mean, they had stuff in the aisles.
Wait, stop. You don't have to
crazy.
tell us because we know.
Okay.
Do you see the disappointment in our face about your decision making
I know,
right
like,
now?
It was shady. Very shaky. Very shaky.
Of all
So,
places.
anywho, I'm glad that we are through with that, but we do have to shop for Christmas. We'll talk about that coming up. And like I said, just a lot of great stuff, including this song by Kim, Share My Life, right here.
Kim will get you in trouble.
He will
All
get you in
day.
big time trouble. Yes, on the Al Rucker Show.
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show. And we're at that segment we call Hot Topics. What you got going on for me, Nick?
So have you ever been on a first date and asked a question you really didn't want the answer to? Like you really didn't need to know that on a first date? I do it all the time. It's like the journalist in me. I always ask questions I really don't
Like what?
Like what?
Have you been faithful in your relationships? Like, why did you just too much? Like, there's not, it's not like I don't get to know somebody enough to weigh that answer. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like if on a first date, you really don't care. So if you tell me something crazy, I'm gone. You know what I mean?
Right.
7.
No.
You
Yeah,
don't think-
I got first date questions, but they always they never fail me.
Okay, so what is your number one first date question?
Hey, so
Do you say it like that?
Yeah.
Cause I kind of swayed with you. Let me say, hey, I'm kind of went
Hey.
too.
So I understand, you graduated at whatever from wherever. Yeah, but your classes, were they inside the building or were they outside the building?
You are silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
'Cause
and if they're outside, what does that mean?
This gonna be a short date. Just like that short
You
bus.
know what the number one
you
question
used to
I
ride.
hate on a first
It's
date
gonna be a
is?
short date. We gonna wrap this up.
Short date, short bus?
expeditiously.
Short bus.
They won't know what expeditiously. They might not.
No.
understand.
Yeah, and now it understands why I feel like I'm talking to a wall because your classes was outside.
What?
The question that I hate more than anything on a first date
outside.
is, why are you still single? I hate that question. Why are you still single? I think men ask it because they think if a woman is still single, it's because there's something wrong with her. But if men are still single, it's because they made a choice.
No, when men ask it, it's a setup for something sexy.
Kim, okay, I can see you with Kim playing candlelight puzzling.
So why are you still?
with your husband. That's what I asked.
What?
I got to ask that, you know. I got to ask.
That's a very interesting. If they
Are
had,
you still with your husband?
if they had dinner with you,
Yes, most women I date, they trying to get away from the dude, and they think if they date me,
it's
it's
something
going.
different.
Sorry,
It's the
same
it's the
thing.
Same thing. Same problem.
Same problem.
Okay,
I
I'm
saw
ready to
you
go
with
home
that
now.
girl.
I gotta go home. The other question that people say you should never ask on a first date is how many people have you slept with? Like, why would you ask that on a first date?
Well, women, for men,
I
if we ask you that question, we just take that your answer and multiply it by 3. Multiply it by 3.
I know the boundaries now.
Multiply by 3. If you said 4, it's really 12.
12.
I terrified chick when she asked me that question.
Women, I don't think women
Math
ask
was
men.
not my strong point.
One guy, we were talking about it, and we weren't on a date, but
Insert
he was
Kim.
like, "We don't have that much time." I'm like, seriously?
Yeah,
like
like-
we can't even figure it out in the next hour or so.
Or what was the last time you had sex?
That's a good question. I'm gonna use that from now on.
last
I always
time you had
counted with
sex?
this. How many people were present that counts as sex?
Oh my Jesus!
This can go a whole. This conversation finna go a
Yeah.
whole.
A
nother-
whole other way.
There's
Right.
a whole nother direction. But yeah, that's one of them questions you asked right there.
Well, and you know what? I think it's interesting because I think that there still is a stigma around like how many people women have slept with as opposed to not. We'll
Right.
True.
count you out, Keisha.
Right, 'cause-
How many people women have slept with versus how many people men have slept with?
Well, I mean,
Like if
most-
women
it really
sleep with
don't
too
matter.
many, and I don't even know what too many quote unquote is, but
man, most chicks, you know what I mean, y'all got very strong cerebral cortexes, and y'all will totally. Oh, well, that one don't count.
Yeah.
Block-
I don't remember his
totally
name, so we can't count it.
Right.
You gotta count it. You gotta count it.
You know.
I bet. What does it say? It doesn't really say anything.
says a lot.
What does it? What does it say?
That says a lot.
So between 20 and 25, what does that say about a woman?
If she had that many partners,
Yeah.
and she's 25.
Wait.
No,
She's
she's had
experienced.
between 20 and 25 partners, but she
She's
could be
experienced.
35.
That's crazy.
You think that's a lot?
That's a hell of a lot.
But for a guy, so what does it say about a guy if he's had between 20 and 25?
He's successful.
Going to break. We've got Ask Al out front. Ass of the week on the way. All of that on the Al
Telling
Rucker
on
Show.
yourself.
You just nominated,
on
voted,
himself.
The views
selected.
expressed by Al Rucker. That him.
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show, and we're at that segment we call Ask Al, where everybody loves to ask us questions and our advice. What you
This
got
is
there?
going to be interesting. It
Okay.
says, Dear Al, do you feel women should be forced to pay spousal support in a divorce settlement? In my particular case, I was the breadwinner during my 7-year marriage, and I came into the union with more assets than my husband. I could have written this letter. I don't mind splitting those items with him, but I'm conflicted about being forced to pay him money and even more angry about him threatening to file for it. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I don't think it's right, and now it's starting to make me feel different about men in general. I've had this conversation with other women, and most of them feel like I do, but I wanted to get a man's perspective. Al, if you were a judge in a divorce case, would you rule in favor of granting spousal support for the man? Signed, Karen in Gainesville.
Yep. Simple
it's
as
the
that.
law.
It's the law. Simple
the
as
law.
that. If it's good for the man, it's good for the woman.
Equal rights.
Gotta pay.
I want to see the man stand up in a court and ask a woman to support him for the next
Let it
whatever
happen.
years through spousal support. I'm sure it would.
It will happen.
No,
I pay
yeah,
child
it-
support.
it definitely happens. You pay child support, right?
I pay child
Yeah,
support.
so no,
But
it's
that's your child. That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You need to
spousal
take care
support.
of your child.
Yeah,
I
what's
don't
the
know
difference?
if
Well, what's the name asked for? Did he get it?
Kindle.
Yeah, Kendu. Didn't he get it? He asked for it. He did it in court. He was all in the paper.
I
and
don't think
everything.
he got it from Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, I think
I don't
Kendu
think
got
he got it.
He was
Kindle.
already getting something. He asked for more.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Kendu got that.
He
And
did.
plus,
Mine
plus,
got it.
plus, he was asking for child support for her to continue paying his child support for the child that they didn't have together that he brought to the marriage.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
To pay child support for a
Really?
baby that ain't hers.
Kendu was the poster
No.
child.
But
for
you
the
know
future.
that who also that happened with
That's crazy.
Sherry Shepherd and her
Yeah,
ex-husband.
yeah,
She
yeah,
pay child
yeah.
support too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she didn't want to.
Holly Berry.
Yeah, she didn't want to.
I just think that if you are a able-bodied man, but I guess I guess it could go both ways. Like if you But I think that if you're just working and you're not making as much money, that's different than if, even as a man or a woman, you say, I'm going to stay home and raise my children, and then you might have trouble going back to the workforce. I think that's different.
I think it doesn't matter, man or woman. At the end of the day.
No, I'm just saying. But if a man decides he's going to stay home and take care of the children, and he doesn't work for 10 years, I mean, that's going to be it's going to be harder for him to get work than if he's just not if he doesn't get paid as much.
Yeah, he could be a nanny.
He need that alimony.
You know what I'm saying? Baby, daddy's daycare. He get it.
I wish my ex-husband would have asked me to pay him some spousal support.
Yeah, but
I really
it happens. It happens. It happens. Well, those are our views.
She had to pay him $30,000. Mary J. Blige had to pay Kendu $30,000 a month in temporary spousal support.
Exactly.
Temporary.
It don't matter.
Wow.
10 months, I'm good.
That's why she
And
was dancing.
this is with her claiming that he spent more than $420,000 of her money on travel charges involving a woman he was having an affair with.
That's Mary J. fault.
What? How did that just happen? Why was that her fault?
She should have been paying attention. She making all the money.
She traveling, being away from home, making all the money.
Exactly.
But
so
he's
she should have
supposed
put
to
him
be
on
acting
she
as
should have-
her manager.
That's her fault. You shouldn't have did that. He ain't gonna be my
Is
manager.
it time to go to break?
He ain't gonna be my manager. He ain't gonna be my manager. Put his butt. She should have put him on an allowance and limit his credit card and let
But
it
then we would have gotten flack as women for treating him like a child and not making him an
because
equal partner.
there's a lot of men that do that to their wives. There's a lot of men do that. Yeah.
Please don't trim that fat.
allowance.
If you ain't doing nothing,
But I am doing something.
yeah. So again,
I'm cleaning your house. I'm cooking
you cleaning
your
our
food.
house. You cooking our food.
Okay.
That
doesn't
you're
deserve an
you're
allowance. I'm raising our children.
kids. Exactly. So
Which means we're a team in a
we are a
partnership.
team.
If we're a
We're a
team, you
team.
don't give a teammate an allowance.
Right.
No, if she at the end of the day,
No,
you don't know what.
don't
you
lower
don't
your
know.
voice
I'm not
on
low.
me.
You know, at the end of the day,
He's like talking like to an irate child.
no, I'm
He
just
did
saying.
hit you with that.
Didn't he?
Yeah, but
Go
I'm just
ahead.
saying. I think if he's a stay at home, if you are a stay at home person, what it may have been. I'm not saying the duties that you do at home should not be warranted, but at the end of the day, to avoid that type of situation, she should have just gave him like, hey, this your money here. Who knows what that money could have been? It's Mary J.
I'm gonna
Blige.
give you an allowance, so because I cannot negate the fact that outside of me, you may have your own needs or just things in
exactly.
the regular run of the day that you need to take
But
care of.
why don't we just
where
call
the
it
house is
access to the
concerned.
marital funds? Why does it have to be an allowance?
Okay, so
Because
therefore, what
that's
we're gonna
easier to
do is
say.
we're gonna set up another account. That's the family account, and you spend that money that's in that account.
I'm fine with
That's
that.
the same
If
thing as
you-
allowance.
No, it's not.
Okay, here it is.
What
You
is
say
the
what you want to
difference?
say. What's the difference?
Because we really arguing semantics. I want to hear what you.
Yeah.
I want to hear you say this.
Yeah, so what's the difference? If we set up an account, this is the family account. Every month I'm putting $10,000 in that account. You do what you need to do, whatever.
Yeah, but that's the same as like having a budget and just spending a certain amount of money.
Well, I'm gonna put
So
you on
if
a budget
there-
then.
well, we're putting you on a budget
That's
too
fine.
because
That's
I'm just
cool.
saying.
That's
You can't
But
put
when
me
you
on no
say-
budget. I'm the breadwinner.
Oh, good Lord.
I spend everything in here if I want to. I sell all this.
Is it time to go home? Can we go home?
So I'm like, we trying to figure this out.
No, you're not. You're really not trying to figure it
Why
out.
is it
You
not?
just want me to announce that you're right. And I
You don't
refuse
have
to
to
do
announce
it
I'm right.
whether
I
you
know I'm
are
right.
or not. So we're going to go
So
to break.
what's the difference with me?
We're coming up shortly on Ass
What-
of the Week.
what
but
is the
first,
difference? What is
we're going to
the
go
difference?
out front with Nikki Woods.
Hold on. So you think because you overtalk me, you right?
Exactly. That's what it is.
No.
So you said.
But I am going to try to go to break.
So what's the problem with
We
a
all
family
crazy.
account? We can go to break. We talk about it when we get back. Let's go to break.
Okay, hold, please.
Oh, you just gonna have the last right?
Hold on.
Hold, please.
Take us to break.
We'll be back.
We will be on this air forever. Forever. Thank you, Keisha, because we would have been there. We would have been in these commercial breaks. You done lost your mind.
Oh Lord. You ain't gonna take us to break?
I am not. Keisha took us to break.
All right.
I am
Well, on that
done.
note, we're going to break. Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show. And we're at that segment we call Hot Topics. Nikki, what we got going on?
So I don't know if you saw this story over the holiday about the 21-year-old black man that was shot and killed by police on Thanksgiving
Yeah, in the mall.
in the mall with police
The guy from the army.
Yeah.
initially identifying him as the gunman who shot at least one person in a mall near Birmingham. As it turns out, Emanatic, I can't say his name. Fitzgerald Bradford Jr., I apologize, was not the gunman. And last Friday, police backtracked on earlier statements saying that the evidence now suggests he had nothing to do with the shooting at all, and the real gunman is still at large. It's like there's just a target on our backs. Like it's just like black man shooting.
Yeah.
Everybody's guilty.
And the thing about that story, what struck me, and I understand, I see why the police officer drew his gun, but I don't understand why he shot his gun, why he fired his gun. So I guess the young man appeared he had a gun.
Well, he's in the Army,
He's
so
in
he
Army.
did
Yeah.
brandish a gun
He
during the
brandished a
seconds
gun.
following gunshots.
Yeah.
But his family is saying that he probably just wanted to help intervene.
Yeah.
And
but
quiet things down.
But even if that was the case, he did not point his gun
No.
at the other police officer.
And that's what I don't understand, because I thought that the policy was not necessarily shoot to kill,
Yeah.
but shoot to injure. Like
Shoot
he
to
could have
injure.
shot him in the thigh,
Nah,
or
or just say put your gun down.
and see if he does it.
Yeah, if he doesn't, and then
Like,
if he
give him a
turns,
chance to do it
yeah,
first.
put your gun down. And it's
Right.
something different.
It makes it so scary.
So I mean, it's just shocking to me, and it's like this has become so normal.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
the
normal.
The sad part is we all point a finger, but as an educator, man, I take a different level of responsibility about the state of education. And I know I'm not 100% responsible for it all across the board. But when people talk about it, you know what I mean, I don't try to duck it or act like it's not happening or anything like that. That's me. That's my personal thing. But what I'm really wanting to know, okay, yeah, I get it. All police officers not bad. I'm waiting to see what the black police officers are going to say.
Right.
well, they're not gonna say anything.
They don't say anything,
don't
and
say
they
That's
really
not
do.
acceptable.
It
They-
is-
they-
it's not
they don't say
acceptable.
anything. They need to say something.
But I think that when they do say it, we're going to be surprised.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that they're going to side with just the black people. I think that they're going to side with their brothers in blue, because
Yeah.
I think that, like you said, I mean, not all police are bad.
Yeah.
And I think that they have a different vantage point than we do.
Yeah.
And I've never been in the position where I had to pull somebody over and be scared that this person might have a gun. So I don't know what that feels like. And so even though I think that there are a lot of killings that were not necessary, and I think that they were wrong, but I think that I see it from a different viewpoint than an officer.
Yeah.
So I think we would be surprised for African Americans for them to talk, because I think that they will side with their brothers in blue and not necessarily with the people of their race.
And that's just even more disappointing.
Well, I mean and I understand exactly what you're saying, and I know where you're coming from, but that's almost like saying, black police officers ought to speak up and say, let us patrol black communities, and you guys patrol the white community.
I mean,
Because
that's
we understand-
segregation.
Yeah,
but it's still, we'd be safer.
You'd be safer. You would be safer because they understand that community. But who knows? You may be safer, may not be safe, because a couple of months ago we saw the black police officer in Baltimore just whooped this other dude for no reason in the neighborhood. Two black,
And I don't
and
know
he
if
just beat him up. Just beat him
I
up
don't
for
know
no
if I
reason.
think it should be black policemen and black
But
people, but I
community.
think that you need to be in the community. And I think there are a lot of mixed communities where you can have a mixed,
Right.
Yeah,
police
Officers.
but
police officers. But
Partner
I
'em
think
up.
that you need to be in the community, because I think that when you come from outside of the community, you have a different. It's like us and them,
Yeah.
as opposed to just us and us.
I'll say this. I know how fraternities work. You know what I mean? And I know, like, if you snitch on a fellow police officer, you know what I'm saying? I know how they treat you in their locker room. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, maybe if our officers adopted some of that, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and issue some death threats. They issue them, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and say, hey, man, let's get a lottery going.
Yeah.
Cause
Have you-
they
Okay,
playing with our
yeah.
lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, these dudes, they shoot up a church or whatever, and now you got 100,000 on the books.
Right.
Did you ever see the documentary, the 7-5? You should watch it, because it's about the 75th precinct in New York when they were starting to take all those corrupt cops down. And one guy testifies, and he says, we will lie, we will steal, we will cover it up, even if we know you're wrong. Because at the end of the day, they have your back on the street. And if you sell them out, you may end up dead, because they don't protect you the way they would somebody that protects them. So it's a whole mentality. And I mean, it's just a lot to talk about. Yes, I got you. We're wrapping up.
Yeah,
but
we
it's
gotta
just
wrap
a
it up.
passionate, it's a passionate subject. And we would love to hear what your thoughts are. We got a lot more coming up on the show, including Power Up, Out Front, and, a lot of music, because that's what we specialize in, the good music. And it's all right here on the Al Rucker Show.
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show. 7 the Poet,
Say, Mike.
Keisha Hunt,
What up?
Nikki Woods and myself. Nikki, what we got going on?
We are going to talk to a man who learned a lot from drinking. I don't know if you learned a lot from drinking or you drank a lot and learned some, but we are going to figure it out. Timothy Fields has spent the past 22 years working in various areas of higher education, primarily in enrollment management at Emory University, where he currently serves as an associate dean in undergraduate admission. He is a native of Arlington, Texas. He went to Morehouse. He does a lot of good stuff, including writing books. So tell us a little bit about this book and why you entitled it Lessons I Learned from Drinking.
So, essentially, it's not, it doesn't celebrate drinking. It doesn't condone it. It just acknowledges that people drink. And, in my time, I just thought there's a lot that I have learned, and there's a lot of different things I would have done had I, knew. And so I just said, 10 years ago, I was like, if I ever wrote a book, it'd be about the things I learned from drinking. And so the book is actually about life principles that you can learn from your drinking escapades. So
okay, let's go back.
So should I drink?
Should we drink while we're learning these lessons?
Yes.
So, but you're not saying you had a drinking problem. You're just saying that as everybody does, you drank.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. On just a normal social Friday night, you go out drinking, and just what are some of the things that you can learn from just socially drinking?
Okay. Now, did you have a particular drink, or is this any drink will do?
It's evolved over time.
Yeah.
You started out with like the Mad Dog 2020, and now you're on something else.
Yeah. When I started writing the book, it was probably Irk and Jerk, but since then it's evolved to some finer tequila.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we can hang out. So tell us some of the lessons you learned and what we can take away from this book.
Yeah. So really, it's like I said, it's not to condone drinking. It's just not a celebration of it. It's just simply saying these are things I've learned. And so there are about 15 chapters, very short chapters, very lighthearted. But like the first one is you get what you pay for. So, if you go with the Mad Dog 2020 and you drink a lot of it, you're going to feel the pain the next day.
Yeah, you drink some taco vodka.
Yeah.
What was that Bill Cosby face you just made?
I was doing what Keisha was doing.
I got my Bill Cosby sweater on today. Let me take this off. This is not a good conversation.
Nikki not even a real drinker
At all.
Yeah.
Oh.
We can tell.
Man, Nikki, we been out with you
Oh,
before.
that's true. That is true.
How did, but you hit with the high. She hit with the high pace. How you know? Like we didn't know.
Got some Hennessy in her purse.
I'm a lightweight. I'm a lightweight. We're good.
Yeah.
So you get what you pay for. What's another lesson?
Another one is it's okay to walk away. And so, that's just thinking about nights when people keep on putting drinks in front of you and you just say, you know what, I'm good. And get in that place where you're confident in yourself saying, I don't need this. But it's also relating to life and thinking about jobs, relationships, or situations where you have to come to your own terms like, I don't need this. It's okay for me to walk away. Another one is cash is king. Just think about like once you run a tab, you kind of can lose all track about how much money you spend. But if you're paying with cash as you go, you have a better sense of how much you spent. But also, just in life, cash is king. There's a lot more you can do with cash than you can with credit. And some things you want to do with cash because you don't want to trace with credit.
Right. That's right.
So, and working at a university, I'm sure you have a lot of conversations with your students about drinking and some of the things that can happen, just when you're having a good time, not necessarily being, abusing alcohol, but just having a good time. What are some of the discussions like with your college students?
The discussions are, as anything, moderation in anything, and, make sure you know what you're putting into your body. But I think where the book really comes in is talking about as you enter in the professional work life, understanding your limitations, one of the chapters is called Know Your Enemy. So thinking about what does not agree with you. I know that Jen and I do not get along, so I don't mess with that. But, thinking about it for those going in the consulting fields and going to networking fields, when you're having dinner and cocktails are being served, to really understand that, like, I can't overconsume this alcohol and then, my behavior is affected for this deal and is affected as far as the professional that I'm supposed to be exude. So, a lot of the conversations are thinking about as you go into the workforce and as you're being put into these situations, how are you conducting yourselves, and do you know your limitations? And how are you trying to, what person you try to put across to other people?
It never ceased to amaze me. They'll go into like a company holiday party, and there's just that one person that decides they are going to get buck wild, and they end up getting fired at the Christmas party.
I want to, with him working with students, and I believe Timothy's of a certain age group. I'm one of the things genius concept.
Yes,
let me say that
I
about the
agree.
book.
And thank you.
You know what I'm saying? One drinking to another. Cheers. Man, but one thing I'm grateful for is that social media did not exist.
I was thinking the same
when I was going through my
thing.
early stages of drinking.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So now with the kids, I don't know if it's a part of your book, Timothy, but you might want to add that. You know what I'm saying? Man, y'all kind of social media and the bar are not your friends. You know what I'm saying? They not.
No, they don't. And even just like with my nieces and my nephews, it's like that, because that stays around for a while, and people now check, colleges check when they're looking to enroll people. Coaches check if they're looking to give you a scholarship. Jobs check. I mean, people check that stuff now. So you do not want, the drink in the air and your shirt over your head.
With
and
my job, it's okay.
you're a comedian.
Well, you're a
Yeah,
comedian.
Keisha.
They look for you to
Yeah.
act a fool.
Yeah, but one of the chapters is literally called "What the hell am I doing?" It's like when you think about, am I about to send this tweet? Am I about to post this picture? Am I at this place I shouldn't be at this time? And like really thinking about like being in those situations where you're questioning what are your actions, and those can happen through drinking. Those can happen in numerous other ways, but it relates it to like really thinking about going back to relationships, jobs, or being a part in life, and you're really questioning what the hell am I doing? Do I need something better for myself? And so, just kind of relating fun, lighthearted drinking stories, and just really kind of questioning some of the actions we do and how can we learn more from it.
All right.
Yeah, I've been there at 2 o'clock in the morning in the parking lot.
You still there at 2
When
o'clock
she-
in the
when
morning
she-
in the parking
when
lot.
She grab your hand. She grab your hand, and you done had one too many. You're like, what am I doing?
And then you wake up when the alcohol is worn off, and you're like,
What happened?
Yeah.
Did I do that?
you can follow Timothy on social media at Lessons Learned from Drinking everywhere. We appreciate you. Certainly college graduation gifts, high school graduation gifts, definitely an appropriate book for us all. So thank you so much, Timothy.
Hey, thank you for your time. Y'all have a great day.
You too. Thank you. So we got a lot to go. We got Power Up. We've got Ask Out front, a whole bunch of stuff, a ton of music, and we have Keisha. So we are all
Yeah, we in good hands now.
We're
We
in
know
good
we're
hands now.
We're off to a great start.
Yep, lots more on
Right
the
on.
Al Rucker Show.
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Roker Show. And as always, Seven the Poet, Nikki Woods, and Keisha Hunt. What we got going on, Nick?
Y'all spent a lot of money during Black Friday. I don't know if you know it or not, but a record $6.2 billion alone was spent on Black Friday. I mean, it's
I mean, that's
24%
good.
larger than last year. I mean, it is good, and that's why they call it Black Friday, because
Yeah.
you want everybody to be in the black. But I'm just thinking about the people spending the money. I mean, the stores benefited, but did we all need to spend the money? Is what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Well, I think they may not, but as they saying right now, which Trump is taking all the credit, the economy is back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really, he didn't do anything to get the economy back. Actually, Barack put the steps in place before he exited.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, so of course
Absolutely.
Trump is taking it, but it does show we're starting to see what Barack did his last term. It's starting to come through. So it's good to see people are spending money, especially like all my establishments were doing well over the.
Oh
over
no!
the
I mean,
holidays.
and if you own your own business,
Yeah.
I mean, it is smart to take advantage
Yeah.
of Black Friday, Small Business Saturday,
Yeah.
and then Cyber
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
But I just and I'm glad that people are doing well, and I'm glad that people are spending. You know, not going to
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like to Target or
Yeah.
even though we love Target, but
Yeah.
really looking at some of our local and community stores
Mm-hmm.
and that sort of thing. But it just is too. I mean, my kids were like buying. I'm like, why are you don't even need that. But it's a Black
It's on
Friday
sale.
sale. It is just
Yeah.
so
It's a sale.
good. I'm like, it was crazy.
Do you
Told the Nike
participate
store
in the
up.
Black Friday?
I don't have anything against it, but I've just gotten to the point where like I don't really. There's not a lot of stuff I need,
Yeah.
and so
It's
unless
crazy.
it's like I bought a lot of things that invest back into me and in my business, like programs that I think will help me in
software,
2019. But like
that,
I'm not buying shoes or anything
Yeah.
like that unless I'm going to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
looks,
Yeah.
buying some shoes. But yeah, I just don't need that kind of stuff.
No, me
You
neither.
should buy something that gets you through TSA security.
I'm telling you, I was upset. I was all on Twitter. I mean, we talked about this in the previous show, but I mean, I go through them so often. Like I said, I don't want another
Yeah.
9/11, so I respect that you are trying to protect this country.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think some people, it's like, when they give the janitor the ring of keys and all of a sudden they got this power, they got a clipboard, and they go, that's what I felt like they were trying to bully me
Flashlight
in TSA.
cops.
Right.
Flashlight cops. Yeah.
I mean, my
Freeze.
doctor doesn't get that in depth with stuff. It
And
was
they take
thorough.
some of them take their job. They take their job
Way
real
too
serious,
seriously.
real serious. Like mean mugging you come through.
I mean, it was
like, bro, you wouldn't be
crazy.
standing there if I wasn't buying this flight. I mean, you got a job because we flying.
I feel like that for cashiers in like stores or the drive-thru
Yes.
where they don't say hi or thank you. Like I'm
You chose
I'm
the job.
paying your salary.
Yeah,
Be
yeah,
nice.
yeah. You know who tends to have the I ain't gonna say the worst, the meanest attitude?
Who?
City workers.
Because they
Wonder
can't
why.
get fired.
Yeah, they have like some of them have like
But
the
I
meanest,
just don't
meanest
understand if
attitude.
you hate your job that much. Like get another. Like why do we have to suffer because you suffering? You know what I
Maybe they
mean?
just
Like
having
go
a
get
bad
another
day.
job.
Because most people are not working in a professional field that
That they
they
desire to
enjoy
do.
or
Yeah.
desire. You know what I mean?
I am
It's-
clear on that.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Right.
But I also
Nikki,
don't think
everybody
that-
does not have the opportunity to live like we live and do what.
I am clear on that. But
You
there are
think that-
days doing what I love that I'm not happy either. But that doesn't mean I'm going to make everybody around me suffer.
You think that 48-year-old man that's working at McDonald's on the fry right now is satisfied? He is not
Nah.
happy.
he is not
Plus,
happy.
he
Daughter
got-
left his
I get
grandkids
it.
with him.
Plus, he got 3
The
kids.
hell?
What did
my
you-
bad.
Boy,
What was that?
I don't know. This is good.
We
Keep
saw
on going.
some. We
I saw
That's
no,
nothing.
literally, we got to say it because you reminded me of P Diddy and the Clown on Ellen. Something it looked like something walked past the studio, like
Yeah.
a black cat or something.
Yeah.
I saw it.
You saw it?
I did see it. I don't know what
The
it was.
hell?
But Al jumped like 10 feet out of
So
his chair.
now I have
Okay.
to sit here and make a decision. Do you want to be the hero?
right, go see.
Go see. But you know, easy. You
Keisha?
finna go see.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm hard until you said you saw something. I was like, I'm not going.
No,
out
I
there.
saw. I don't know what it was, but I saw it too. So.
I'm too soft. Go, brother.
Well, anyway, is it break time?
I'm scared of bugs.
Are you scared of
I'm
bugs?
terrified of bugs.
What are you scared of, Seven?
Nothing.
And so he's got to be the hero. Al, clearly we know what you scared of.
No, I wasn't scared. It was just shocking because I'm looking and out of my peripheral vision, I see something just kind of
Okay,
just
well, we're
moseying
gonna-
on down. And
we're
he
gonna
wasn't
go
that-
to break.
He wasn't tall. He was just
It was whatever it was weird.
yeah.
And Seven is gonna be the hero. So if
Seven
you
gonna
don't
be the
hear
hero.
Seven in the next
I'm locking
break,
the door.
right?
Yeah,
we
we
not
gonna
bringing it
lock
back.
Go well.
He gonna the glass. He gonna be hitting on the glass.
I'll be like, oh, that's messed up,
yeah,
Seven.
he gonna be. You ever see Martin when Martin was trying to get in or something? He fall down the window.
Like, it's
That's what
funny
it's
because
gonna
like
be.
this is a scary movie full of black people, so the black person has got to be the first one to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
we
All
are
right.
going to go to
Break
break. We'll let
time.
you know what happens after the break. We have Power Up out front, and also Ask Al and Ask of the Week on the way. Much, much more on the Al Rucker Show.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rick Show, and we're at that segment we call Hot Topics. What you got going on for me, Nick?
So have you ever been on a first date and like asked a question you really didn't want the answer to? Like you really didn't need to know that on a first date? I do it all the time. It's like the journalist in me. I always ask questions I really don't
Like
want.
what?
Like what?
Like have you been faithful in your relationships? Like why did you like just too much? Like there's not it's not like I don't get to know somebody enough to weigh that answer. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like if on a first date you really don't care. So if you tell me something crazy, like I'm gone. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Seven.
No.
You
Yeah,
don't
nah,
think-
I got first date questions, but they always they never fail me.
Okay, so what is your number one first date question?
Hey, so like,
Do you say it like that?
yeah.
Like, 'cause I kind of swayed with you. Let me say, hey, I'm like, kind of went
Hey.
too.
So like I understand you graduated at whatever from wherever, yeah, but like your classes, were they inside the building or were they outside the building?
You are silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
'Cause
what?
it-
And if they're
Silly.
outside, what does that mean?
This gonna be a short date. Just like that short
You
bus.
know what the number one question I hate on a first
It's
date
gonna be a
is?
short date. We gonna wrap this up.
Short date, short bus.
expeditiously.
Short bus.
They won't know what expeditiously. They might not.
Nah.
Yeah, and now it understands why I feel like I'm talking to a wall because your classes was outside.
The
What?
question that I hate more than anything on a first date is why are you still single? I hate that question. Like, why are you still single? Like,
Right.
I think men ask it because they think if a woman is still single, it's because there's something wrong with her. But if men are still single, it's because they made a choice.
No, when men ask it, it's a setup for something sexy.
Kim, okay, I can see you with Kim playing candlelight puzzling.
So why are you still?
With your husband. That's what I asked.
Why?
I got to ask that, you know. I got to ask.
That's a very interesting. If they
Are
had,
you still with your husband?
if they had dinner with you,
Yes, most women I date, they trying to get away from the dude, and they think if they date me,
it's
it's
something
going.
different.
Sorry,
It's the
same
it's the
thing.
Same thing. Same problem.
Same problem.
Okay,
I
I'm
saw
ready to
you
go
with
home
that
now.
girl.
I gotta go home. The other question that people say you should never ask on a first date is how many people have you slept with? Like, why would you ask it on a first date?
Well, women, for men,
I
if we ask you that question, we just take that your answer and multiply by 3. Multiply by 3.
Oh, I know the boundaries now.
Multiply by 3. If you said 4, it's really 12.
12.
I terrified chick when she asked me that question.
Women, I don't think women
Math
ask
was
men.
not my strong point.
One guy, we were talking about it, and we weren't on a date, but
Insert
he was
Kim.
like, "We don't have that much time." I'm like, "Seriously?
Yeah, like-
we can't even figure it out in the next hour or so."
Or when was the last time you had sex?
That's a good question. I'm gonna use that from now on.
I always
time you had
counter with
sex?
this: how many people were present that count as sex?
Oh my Jesus!
This can go a whole. This conversation gonna go
Yeah.
a whole.
Yeah.
nother-
A whole other way.
Just
Right.
a whole nother direction. But yeah, that's one of them questions you asked right there.
Well, and you know what? I think it's interesting because I think that there still is a stigma around like how many people women have slept with as opposed to not. We'll
Right.
True.
count you out, Keisha.
Right, 'cause-
How many people women have slept with versus how many people men have slept with?
Well, I mean,
Like if
most,
women
it really
sleep with
don't
too
matter.
many, and I don't even know what too many quote unquote is, but
man, most chicks, you know what I mean, y'all got very strong cerebral cortexes, and y'all will totally. Oh, well, that one don't count.
Yeah.
Black,
I don't remember his name, so we can't count it.
Right.
You gotta count it. You gotta count it.
You know.
I bet what does it say? It doesn't really say anything.
says a lot.
What does it? What does it say?
That says a lot.
So between 20 and 25, what does that say about a woman?
If she had that many partners,
Yeah.
and she's 25.
Wait.
No,
She's
she's had
experienced
between 20 and 25 partners, but she
She's
could be
experienced.
35.
That's crazy.
You think that's a lot?
That's a hell of a lot.
But for a guy, so what does it say about a guy if he's had between 20 and 25?
He's successful.
Going to break. We've got Ask out front, Ass of the Week on the way. All of that on the Al
Telling
Rucker
on
Show.
yourself.
You just nominated,
on
voted,
yourself.
The views
selected.
expressed by Al Rucker. That
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show. And we're at the end of the show, and we close it out with the segment we call Ass of the Week. Talk to me.
Why won't you
Don't
look
even-
at me when we
don't
talk?
even
We're
look
going
at
to
it.
talk about it.
Don't even look at it.
Like if
'Cause she may not do it.
no.
like I'm gonna forget about that.
She may not
Well,
do
we
it.
are not, even though we're not, because it's a holiday season, and I think payday is upon us, so we are not gonna make you Ass of the Week as originally planned.
That's right. It is a holiday season. Women have played a good role this season in the kitchen.
You really want to keep doing that? Really? Like
What?
Florida Evans.
Don't make me say it, Florida. Don't make me say it, Florida.
There's two lines.
He making it
There's
worse.
two lines out of Good Times that
Keisha,
will last forever.
You are on my
Don't-
side.
Sometimes.
Listen, check it out. Check it out. Hey, check it out. There's two lines in Good Times that goes down in history as the best lines ever.
See, you
Hold on.
cannot not be Ass of the Week
Watch,
if
hold
you
on,
say
here, watch
this.
it, watch this,
Okay,
watch
I'm
this,
just
watch
saying,
this.
Be warned.
Watch this.
Damn.
The kitchen and the bedroom, Florida. The kitchen and the bedroom.
Watch this.
Down.
Well, I will tell you what won't be happening when you try to talk about an allowance. So it'll be in the kitchen in the bedroom, but ain't nothing gonna be cooking in either room.
Once I give you that allowance, it will.
And remember,
Ceiling fan, girl.
we talked about how many people have to
Ceiling fan.
how many
talked
people
about
have to
down.
be present. We talked about how many people have to be present for it to be considered sex.
Did we talk about that?
I don't know, but
How many
let's
people do
yeah.
have to be present
I mean,
for it to be considered?
Oh, the week.
Oh God!
What's
I
the
got it.
Yeah,
what's the ass of the week? Let's go to ass of the week. We forgot all
No,
about
Al
that.
is the ass of the week.
I'm-
That wasn't clear. No, I'm joking.
talking about
I ain't
ain't
tripping.
She gonna talk about ain't nothing gonna be cooking. Girl, I'm ambidextrous. I promise I'll take care of me.
I cannot believe you.
7.
I am just
day
now
today.
getting the whole how many people have to be present thing.
Y'all
So
are
I'm
crazy.
just saying, like 4 hours later. So a Georgia woman, this is Georgia, the state of Georgia is the ass of the week, Monroe County in particular. So Dasha Fincher was driving along. She got stopped. They did a drug test on her and they locked her up for possession. When they did further studies, they figured out it was really just cotton candy. So I don't know what kind of drug test would come back positive for cotton candy, or if people just did not do due diligence. But they locked her up.
For cotton candy.
Cotton candy. I mean, it's just like, I just get so mad. Like, you could just be minding your own business. You could have been leaving the state fair, eating your cotton candy. You driving home to take care of your precious 2-year-old baby.
And they thought it was what?
They locked her up for possession
Of
of
cotton
methamphetamines.
So what is cotton candy?
Well, I mean, it will make you crazy. That's for sure. I mean, have you ever seen a 2-year-old on cotton candy?
Oh, okay, but that's because it's straight sugar.
Right.
Well, I'm trying to get the meth part.
I think we all are. I mean, and
Oh,
she's now
now-
suing Monroe County.
Is there a chemical in the process when the thing starts spinning and turning into?
I don't think they did any kind of a process. I think they eyeballed it. They thought it was something it shouldn't have been, and they took her in and got cotton candy on their face. I really don't think they did anything. That's what's so scary about it. Are you? What?
So meth look like cotton candy? Meth look like cotton candy on the face?
I don't know.
This is crazy. Don't give the babies cotton candy.
I'm thoroughly I
I'm
just
confused.
don't.
Yeah, I'm confused.
I mean, unless the cotton candy was balled up.
Yeah.
I've never seen meth, so I don't even
Me
know what
neither.
meth looks like. I mean, I guess I could Google it, but I don't know.
It's different forms of it. I mean, you got powder forms, crystal forms, pill forms. I still can't see how they crossed that up though.
With cotton
Cotton
candy.
candy look. You got cotton candy look.
I've got to.
Cotton candy
Let me
Yeah,
tell
I
you.
know what
I'm
cotton
saying.
candy looks like.
must look like meth.
I don't
No,
Must
it
look
does
like meth in
not.
its purest form or something.
Nah, that's just some bull. That's what that is.
And then the
Most-
cotton candy would have had to be white.
Well,
yeah, but most black people don't
Well,
do that.
they have white cotton candy.
Yeah, but
I
where?
don't-
Most cotton candy
Yes.
No,
pink.
most kind of
Yes,
pink
they
or
do.
blue
Yes,
or
they do.
very
Black people do meth.
yes, they do.
black people do what?
Meth.
Yes, they do.
Oh, absolutely.
I've been
That's like
places.
Saying, that's like saying
where
black
I've
people make
met-
bombs.
They do.
Black people do meth?
Yes, I was in a place with them.
think-
I was watching this show. Have you all ever
Man,
seen that show
was in jail
First
with
or
him.
Last?
You was
First
in
and
jail?
Last? It's on Netflix, and they go through the people's first day of jail and they go through their last day of jail. So it's first
I
and
need to
last.
watch this.
There was this woman on there, and she was so proud of herself. She was about to get released, and she was like, I had all of my family, they were crackheads, and she's like, and I had to make a better decision. So she's like, I chose meth. I was like,
You'd be surprised who on drugs.
and
baby.
she was so proud of herself.
That's crazy.
She
Well-
made a better decision.
That's crazy.
It's either crack and cocaine.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Well, just don't do drugs. How about
Please
that?
don't.
Let
Yeah.
that us be.
Or
let
cotton
that be-
candy for
or
that
cotton-
matter.
Or cotton candy. Because
Man,
crack,
let's
crack
Let's
is
don't
whack.
do it in Georgia.
Right.
Crack
I've been
is
sick.
whack.
I've been sick for the past week. You talking about don't do drugs. Look here.
Done had every drug. No.
Man,
He
I
done
didn't
had
have
everything.
nothing but Vicks, Tylenol. and
Robitussin.
Did you
And-
hit with a little NyQuil? Did you top it
I
off?
had that NyQuil, baby.
There is nothing better than a hot toddy. I am telling you.
Oh,
Ooh.
and guess where they can make them at?
Where?
Are we gonna get sponsorship if I say?
Go ahead.
Pop it off.
Oh
Do
yeah,
they really?
yes they do.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And Babbins.
All right. Well, this has been. I'm not even gonna say drug talk, but we appreciate you hanging out with us. We're gonna have a great show the next time. We talked to some phenomenal people, got some phenomenal message. We learned a lot about Seven. Things I did not know, but I am going to
Announce this.
I am going to take it with me. Seven is available to talk to schools about the school climate, the school and community rapport, classroom management, dealing with at-risk youth.
And
Poetic extraordinaire and educator developer. Seven, the poet.
hold your applause.
All right, so he owes you about $250. So we'll be back, but we've had a great time. Lots of great music. Holiday season is upon us, so we will be talking a lot about the holidays.
Yeah. Close us out, Nikki.
You really don't want the show to end. I swear to God. You think you gonna get me?
No, we're
Say
not.
goodbye, Seven.
The kitchen in the bedroom, Florida. The kitchen in the bedroom.
We'll see you next time on
right,
the
y'all
Al
have a
Rucker
good day.
Show.
Adios.
I'm gonna hit you in your
Y'all
head.
is 7 years.
Nah.
Smoke my side since it's red out here.
You were making so much noise. Yes. I thought you were trying to tell us.
The Al Rucker Show.